How will the youth influence outcomes? Will jobs for youth be a pivotal issue? That is something we are looking at. We'll play out few ground reports and then take the big questions to our panel of observers and experts. Let's take you to Vadodara. While the ruling BJP has made tall claims of the Gujarat model, Mirror now gets you the pulse from the ground. Starting from the city of Vadodara, the third largest city, situated on the banks of river Vishwamistri, famous as the cultural capital of the state. Not just that, it is also known as a center for educational activities. So we are going to talk to students. In fact, how can we not talk about the famous Baroda College, the Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda, which was established way back in 1881. It has produced some eminent names like Vinoba Bhave, Dada Saheb Phalke. It is the future for the youth. What is the future for the youth from this famous college? Is it still bright? Let's listen in to those voices.
Inside the historically significant and the renowned Sayaji, the Maharaja Sayaji University in Vadodara, we will understand the mood of the youth from the city as well, from the perspective of the Gujarat elections. आप बताएं, if you can tell us, what are the issues that will matter to the youth of Vadodara?
हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम, हमारे लिए जॉब्स, ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है। भले गुजरात को प्राइवेट जॉब की सेक्टर का हब माना जाता है, लेकिन फिर भी यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट जॉब के लिए नहीं है।
देखा जाए तो चेंजेस ये होना चाहिए एजुकेशन सिस्टम में। जैसे कि गुजरात की बात की जाए तो पेपर लीक बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है, जिसको लेके बहुत से मुद्दे उठाए भी जा रहे हैं। पेपर लीक, बार बार पेपर लीक हो रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो स्टूडेंट काफी सालों से तैयारी कर रहे हैं उनको प्रॉब्लम्स फेस करना पड़ रहा है।
बहुत कुछ है, जैसे कि ट्रैफिक है, सुरक्षा का है, मतलब बहुत कुछ है बोलने को तो। और स्टूडेंट के लिए है कि चलो अपने बाहर से आए तो उनको मतलब सेट होने में टाइम लगता है, मतलब बहुत कुछ कॉलेज के इश्यूज है, फिर बाहर क्या है ऐसा।
सबसे पहला तो यही है कि अभी तो ब्रिज का काम चल रहा है, पिछले 5 सालों से चल रहा है, अभी तक पूरा नहीं हुआ है। ठीक है, यहाँ से गेंडा सर्कल से लेकर मनीषा चौकड़ी तक ब्रिज का काम चल रहा है। अभी तक कहीं ना कहीं बड़ौदा के अंदर एक ट्रैफिक की समस्या होने लगी है, क्योंकि जैसे जैसे पब्लिक बढ़ती है, रास्ते छोटे होते जा रहे हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें लगता है कि ट्रैफिक की समस्या ऊपर ध्यान देना चाहिए बड़ौदा के ऊपर। और दूसरी बात कि जो भी नए काम हो वो जल्द से जल्द पूरे करने की जो उनकी तारीख है उनसे समय के ऊपर पूरा किया जाए।
तो यूथ का मेन इशू क्या होता है कि गवर्नमेंट जॉब जो कि कई सालों से पेंडिंग्स में पड़ी हुई, कितनी सारी जॉब्स के तो आपने देखे होंगे फॉर्म्स भरा गए, लेकिन उनकी एग्जाम्स ही नहीं ली जा रही है। तो पहला तो वो होता है यूथ का। और दूसरा जो होता है कि ऐसा होता है कि हर इंसान चाहता है कि जहाँ वो पढ़ रहा है वहाँ पर भी उसे हर चीज़ की सुविधा मिले। जैसे अभी हर इंसान प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज़ अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता, तो आता कहाँ है, गवर्नमेंट में आता, तो उसे गवर्नमेंट के अंदर भी अच्छे खासी फैसिलिटीज़ मिलनी चाहिए, जो कि नहीं मिल पाती है।
Security is good for girls in Gujarat as compared to other states. Like we both are from defense background, so we went to so many states, we lived there. So as compared to other state and other cities, Vadodara is safe.
गुजरात में देख ले तो डेवलपमेंट जो स्मार्ट सिटी कही जाती है वडोदरा सिटी को, तो यहाँ पे आप देख लीजिए कि रोड रास्ते है, कि जैसे ट्रैफिक व्यवस्था है तो वो बहुत ही खराब है। जैसे सरकार झूठे वादे कर रही है कि हम लोग ने ये रोड बनाया, लेकिन वो गलत ही वादे है कि वो रोड बने हैं सिर्फ जो कॉर्पोरेटर है वडोदरा के एमएलए है वो लोग के घर के आसपास के रोड बने।
ऐसे देखा जाए तो सिस्टम में चेंज आना चाहिए, एक सरकार नहीं रहनी चाहिए। मतलब नई सरकार आएगी, नए मुद्दे भी आएंगे, मतलब नया थोड़ा डेवलपमेंट भी दिखेगा।
Education आप दे रहे हो, are giving the top education from the university as soon as
The youth is very much aware, politically conscious. So I'm going to go across to my colleagues who are now reporting from Gujarat from various locations. I have Arunil from Vadodara, Aishwarya from Ahmedabad and Abhishek from Surat. Very good evening to all three of you. Let's begin with you, Aishwarya, since you're in the capital city. What is the mood like? What have you gathered so far about how people are gearing up to face these elections?
Well, very interesting elections this time as far as Gujarat is concerned. It's just not the battle between BJP and Congress. Wherever we have gone so far in different constituencies, in the outskirts of Ahmedabad or in the urban areas as well, there is a perception of people that they wanted to see on one side the change or the parivartan, as they say, in the state, but certainly a larger section of the society is pretty happy with the work that the BJP has done, and BJP going into the polls are clearly stating that they are going, with their agenda of Vikas, of the development that they have done so far in the state, and under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There is there is also Aam Aadmi Party, which is in fray, remember, and clearly they are saying that it's a parivartan that the people of Gujarat wanted. But on ground, certainly it's a
Yes.
three-way fight that we are looking for. But it will depend, on how the things turns as the elections are coming just just nearby.
We have Arunil and Abhishek also come in. Arunil, we heard voices from Vadodara. It seems the youths are very politically conscious. They know whether promises have been delivered or not. Is there any level of anti-incumbency among the youths?
Well, Afrida, the youth is not only politically conscious, but they are politically vocal as well. That is one significant aspect that we have noticed. When we've been speaking to people from the middle-aged group, basically people who are doing their jobs, people who are working for their family, then that thinking about what if I say something wrong about the government, will it hinder my growth? That aspect comes into the picture. Now we'll speak to some of the people. At present, I'm inside the prominent Mangal Bazaar in Vadodara. We'll speak to some of the people from Baroda. आप बताएं अंकल, आपको क्या लगता है कौन से इश्यूज आपके लिए महत्वपूर्ण रहेंगे जहाँ तक कि इलेक्शन की बात करें तो, और कौन से इश्यूज पर आप वोट करना चाहोगे? कौन सी पार्टीज आपको सही लगती है?
हमको भाजपा सही लगती है।
ओके, आप बताएं, आपसे बात करेंगे कौन सी पार्टीज आपको सही लगती है, कौन से
What you do is, Arunil, you continue that conversation and we'll play that out later. Let's get in Abhishek quickly from Surat. Yes, Abhishek, from your experience so far, what is the ground sentiment like? Very quickly.
I'll directly take you to the people over here. Locals will speak. What is the mood out here in Surat? We are at the VIP road. क्या mood है? Election है. कितनी promises की गई थी, कितनी fulfill हुई है और कितनी बाकी है?
गुजरात वैसे भी इंडिया का ग्रोथ मॉडल रहा है और जैसे ही मोदी जी ने 27 साल में ये गुजरात को डेवलप किया, ये पूरा देश का एक मॉडल स्टेट है। गुजरात में सूरत भी एक फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग सिटी है। सूरत एक सेकंड नंबर का इंडिया में क्लीन सिटी भी है, टेक्सटाइल सिटी है, डायमंड सिटी है, गार्बेज फ्री सिटी है। अभी मेट्रो भी बन रहा है तो मेट्रो सिटी के नाम से भी जाए। इधर BRTS का 110 किलोमीटर का सबसे बड़ा कॉरिडोर है, यानी ट्रांसपोर्ट व्यवस्था भी सूरत में काफ़ी अच्छी है। बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज आ रही हैं, यहाँ पे स्टील की इंडस्ट्रीज भी हैं, वो काफ़ी इधर डेवलपमेंट अलग अलग स्टेट से, हर स्टेट से लोग यहाँ पे बसते हैं और गुजरात में ये सूरत ऐसा शहर है जो हर एक स्टेट के लोगों को रोजगार भी देता है। तो गुजरात में सूरत इकोनॉमी के दृष्टि से या GDP की दृष्टि से खूब आगे है।
और लोगों से बात करते हैं, आप कहीं ना कहीं सूरत ही
that conversation with the people in Surat. We'll of course play that out later. Completely out of time on this particular reporter segment. I want to go across to my guests joining us this evening. Nirja Chaudhary, senior journalist, and also with us Sanjeev Srivastav, again senior journalist with us this evening. Thank you both for joining us on the program. Nirja, the youth vote, how critical is it? Much of the discussion we've had earlier as well in our programs have been about how it's going to be Modi and Moditva. If that is the case, there should be zero anti-incumbency. Everything should be overridden by the Modi factor. Is that what you think?
Yes, if you theoretically speaking, I would say yes. But first, to answer your question, the youth factor is very critical, both in Gujarat and in Himachal. So is the women factor very critical. Of course, there is anti-incumbency of, 2 decades and 27 years, which is a very, very long time. And yet, Gujarat is the Prime Minister's state. Suppose that had not been a factor, maybe there would have been a huge anti-incumbency. And that is the reason why the party removed Vijay Rupani. That's also one of the reasons why Rupani, Nitin Patel, and a couple of others who were part of that government are not contesting because they would like to show that the anti-incumbency was against that government. And this government, the new chief minister, is a break from the past. Now, whether that ploy will succeed or not, we don't know. Of course, there are many things. There's farmers' unhappiness. There's unhappiness on prices that is across the board. Now, recently, the Morbi Bridge, and of course, the Bilkis Banu, the remission for the convicts of that rape case, which is a horrendous thing to have happened. Now, whether that will go to polarize the Hindus in the other direction, but essentially, I would say, because it's Narendra Modi's home state, there is a good chance that the BJP will take it, and the Aam Aadmi Party's rise in Gujarat makes it a triangular contest, and that also is advantage BJP.
Yes, that is interesting. Sanjeev Srivastava, the fact is, even though Nirja says that, yes, there is a definite advantage for the BJP owing to Mr. Modi, but it is not as if the party is only playing on that image. It is not entirely relying on it. Look at the number of projects moved out of Maharashtra, including the Vedanta Foxconn one. Look at the new age train introduced and, drummed up the bullet train. Of course, we know the incident of how the first week did not really go that well, crashing into a herd of cows. But the fact of the matter is there is a concerted effort, Mr. Srivastava, to woo voters through these grandiose of projects.
Yeah, but while I agree with you, and I agree with everything that Nija just said, the fact of the matter is that all these grandiose projects are but an extension of Mr. Modi's image and persona. So whatever big ticket is happening or is proposed to be done is again will be projected as somebody, the son of the soil, the prime minister who was earlier the chief minister and son of Gujarat, is bringing these great development projects to the state. See, if we come just not trying to repeat what Nirja said, if you just bring down to political brass tacks, last 27 years BJP has been in power. Since 2002, they have been consistently winning under Mr. Modi. There is a solid, whatever his strong position and strong position of the BJP, there is a very solid anti-BJP vote in Gujarat. But in these last 25 years, that anti-BJP vote has not been able to overthrow the BJP government and bring in the Congress. Now, this time what is happening, to pick up the last point where Nirja left, this time that anti-BJP vote is further divided. So there is an AAP party, there is a which will take away some of the Congress votes. Then there is the Owaisi's AIMIM, which will take away some of the Muslim votes. So whose votes are being taken away? Whose votes are getting frittered? The anti-BJP vote is largely getting frittered. So it's a given. We will continue to discuss the Gujarat election. The outcome is a given.
Yet the BJP is not taking any chances. Yet they are changing candidates, dropping big wigs, replacing them. I'm saying, this is the way a political party that takes its job seriously operates. There are no chances taken.
It takes it very seriously even after it loses the election. It tries to still form the government. So it's a party which is always trying to win at any cost, before the election or after the election, whether they win the election or lose the election. Here it is very obvious they are going to win the election. The only point of interest really, Afrida, in my opinion, in this election is whether they are going to better or come close to their 2002 record of 127 seats.
Is it because last time Congress came very close to call and they cannot, even by mistake, allow the Congress to capitalize on those gains?
They reached their peak in 2002. The only point of interest in this election, especially with the division of vote in the anti-BJP bloc, is whether they'll come near or better that peak once again.
Right. Nirja, last word to you. BJP banking on the Modi factor, Aam Aadmi Party coming up with a big promise of change. But again, for AAP, it's probably to foray into a new territory. What is the Congress banking on? It seems a complete lackluster campaign. How is it giving up a state like Gujarat, where it made massive gains in the last election, in this manner?
Look, I heard a very weird theory when I was in Himachal Pradesh about 3 to 4 weeks ago. And that came from the Congress circles. I don't know what the truth of it is. And they talked about an understanding between Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, Himachal to be left to the Congress and AAP to be left to the Gujarat to be left to the BJP. Gujarat to be left to AAP and Congress to be given Himachal. Now, all parties know that BJP is going to make it in Gujarat. And Aam Aadmi Party will want to make forays in Gujarat, having done well in the local elections in Surat. And Himachal, if it became a triangular contest in Himachal, the BJP would definitely win. But today, the Congress has a fighting chance in Himachal. How it's going to pan out, we don't know. So is there truth in it? We don't know. But that may explain why the Congress has made much of its so-called low-key campaign in Gujarat. It doesn't make sense. I agree with you. Last time it almost won Gujarat. And it was only in the last week, the last 4 or 5 days, when Mr. Modi came and campaigned and really took on the Congress in a very, very aggressive way, that I think the BJP got 99 and the Congress was left with 77. Otherwise, it was a very good campaign last time, original campaign, and they fought hard. Now, this time they seem to have almost given up before the fight has started. So,
and that is not how politics work, isn't it? I mean, at least you have to be seen to be serious about politics if you're in the game. To be surrendering an entire territory where you made big gains last time, again, only damages your image further. And it's not just about Gujarat. There are also other elections coming up. The fact is the party is willing to take that blow to its image, Sanjeev Srivastava.
See, Nija is not only very dear, but I regard and respect her a lot. And she herself is saying that she doesn't know whether this theory is true or not. I have also heard about it, but frankly, I don't buy it. It's like, because the AAP is out and out to damage Congress all over the country. So for one state, you make a deal. They just finished off Congress party in Punjab. So it's a little too far-fetched, and politics is not such a game of 2 plus 2. What happened perhaps in Himachal, what I have been told or what my understanding is, that the Punjab government of AAP party has become so discredited, and it has become in public mindset so associated with the so-called pro-Khalistan movement that the proximity of Himachal to Punjab, while initially it was being thought it will help AAP party in Himachal, the proximity and because the Himachal people can see what's happening in Punjab, it is playing the other way. So maybe, and AAP also is not such a big party that can simultaneously focus its energies on 2 states. So they have decided to go full blast in Gujarat, and for whatever reasons, perhaps they thought they'll not do well. Perhaps what Nirja is saying is right. Or she's also not saying, she's also saying she has heard it. So I think it's just that the Congress party realizes that last time it gave its best and still lost. And this time the sheer arithmetic of the election is not favoring them. And I'm sure once Himachal is done, they will put in their forces and marshal their troops in Gujarat. But Gujarat is a lost case. It's a lost case. 2017 was their best
speaking
chance.
Too soon. We have seen pollsters being proved wrong. So I would like to exercise caution. But Nirja, I want to ask this question from the citizens' point of view. You mentioned that, there is discontentment when it comes to price rise. There is discontentment among the farmers. You also said the Morbi tragedy actually should have been an issue. And as a channel that focuses on civic issues, isn't it extremely tragic that none of these people's issues will matter? The arithmetic, as Sanjeev Srivastava says, is in favor of the BJP. Nothing can shake that.
Yeah, because I think you're right. Morbi is not just, 135. Of course, 135 people dying, but it shows the way decisions are being made. Cronyism, contracts going, to a clock-making company for a bridge of the kind that the Morbi Bridge was. So, it is shocking. And yet, when there should have been an outcry, there was a one-day outcry on certain television channels, but there should have been an outcry all over the country when such a thing happens. But you're right, that is not happening. And that's not happening in state after state. And partly the reason is that there is no convincing alternative to Mr. Narendra Modi as of today. There is, however, I heard many more voices today than say even 6 months ago about the growing economic distress, about the rising prices. And this is coming from people who were bucks of the BJP earlier. So I think this is something the BJP will have to take into account, is probably taking into account.
Yes.
Because they're quick, on the uptake when it comes to, rectifying things that go wrong. Vis-a-vis, particularly when it comes to winning elections. But overall, in the short run, the rise of Aam Aadmi Party will help the BJP in Gujarat. In the long run, if the AAP stays its course, then it may prove to be, it may actually take on the BJP.
I think the biggest suspense, Nirja and Sanjeev, would be to see how AAP performs in this election. The suspense is more or less around that. Let's see how much of a territory they can cover, what is the kind of numbers they get coming from a zero. That will be an interesting part, I agree. Nirja Chaudhary, Sanjeev Srivastava, thanks for joining us this evening.